Take it away, JD.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fate Faction. You said you.
Well, give it like an hour.
Give it an hour.
Because it's Twitch. Okay, now you should. Okay, go.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the featured matches for today, 11th of. Now I'm messed up. The 8th of November. I am JD, still playing Bloons Mage here, with my casting partner now is Rustka, the leader, essentially, of Freljord.
Yo.
I am here again with this, our always streamer, Porkchop.
Hello.
I need to stop playing this game. Anyway, we are here for the second game between Shadow Isles and Bilgewater. After the stunning victory of the Bilgewater team, we are a little bit in overfill on the side of Bilgewater, if I am correct. No, we got the bronzy. Perfect.
I don't think we're supposed to say bronzy on the stream.
Too bad.
Can we say bronzer?
Can we say bronzo?
Bronzo.
Can we say bronzed?
Bronzong?
Bronzon, Borzon. Anyway.
Just call him Tanned.
I'm going to call him Jimmy.
Goldie? Silvery?
We got Jimmy.
We got Jimmy now, folks. Jimmy will be able to allow us to not be banned. Us being the Bilgewater team, Russ being a Freljord, he does not care.
Looks like they're going to discuss if they're going to use Renekton or not.
Yes, a thing I mentioned before in the previous stream, if you're going to use a champion in the rivalry system, you must tell the opposing team, so this way they know that they can pick the champion that would oppose them. So this way it's fair.
So wait, Renekton's a rival to the Shadow Isles?
Renekton's a rival to Nasus. So Shadows will be able to use Nasus.
Oh, okay. I was really confused.
The only exception to this rule is Diana and Leona on the terms of Shadow Isles. So if Bilgewater's fighting Shadow Isles like now and they pick Diana, which they can't, Shadow Isles would not be able to use Leona due to the fact Leona pretty much embodies everything that Shadow Isles is not.
I don't know. She seems shifty.
They're really discussing. They're like, wait, no Renekton. Wait, let us think.
I mean, it's a good thing to think of if they don't take too much time.
Poor Ra.
They probably will take too much time, though.
The strategies, man. These are LCS strategies right here. To use
all those LCS.
If we use Renekton,
personally, I feel like if in
Nasus.
fact we'll see with Renekton, I'm sure Nasus would want to stop them.
Exactly that.
Nasus.
That's a fair point.
Just one of the kinks we have to work out in the faction
system.
system.
The rivalry system was recently introduced by someone that should not be mentioned. Cough, cough, me. It still has a bit of a kinks, but it is working out now. This is essentially the beta phase. And it does bring a bit more of diversity into the team rosters when it comes into what champions have been unlocked for what factions.
And we do appreciate your work.
Yay! I'm
but
an
not
assistant.
That much. Don't get ahead of yourself.
I want to be staff so badly.
I mean, you pretty much are at this point.
I'm an assistant to Naga, and I barely get to do anything. I do industry roles, and that's it.
Loser.
I'm the coffee boy. I don't even know if I'd be trusted with coffee. Idle conversations.
We'll think about it.
We'll think about it. 5 years later. Good news! You're a coffee boy.
We're taking you on.
This is just a trial run. We may not like you still.
Did you see what they typed in the chat?
Wait, are we making fun of Ionia?
Yes.
Ionia shirt, yeah.
Oh, Ionia read a good book.
5 Shades of Explosion.
Oh, Ionia. Literacy rates. It's a good thing they're not a faction in Civilization. That's a thing I know.
That reference was probably lost on a lot of us, including
I don't care. If I did things that made people like me, I wouldn't be in the position I am now.
Coffee slave?
Coffee slave! Yes, I'm officially coffee slave. Oh, the game has started up, or at least Champ Select has. Let us see what's been banned out, and now we don't have to make all a conversation about my personal job life.
But we're going to.
Damn it. Russ Senpai, no! Don't notice me, Russ Senpai!
Russ notices you.
Oh no! Russ Senpai! Oh, that is a thing I've done now. It's on the internet.
Does that mean we're famous?
Anyway. No, but it's on the internet.
But it's on the internet, so we're famous.
Of course.
Would it be a hot shot?
All of the YouTube sites will be making parodies of us.
Woo!
Now, looking towards the bans right now, Bilgewater will be finishing up their 3 bans. So far, A and Y have been banned out. I has been banned out, and boo for Shadow Isles.
I'm just gonna point out that's like, aye, Captain.
Aye.
Mm-hmm.
Like a pirate.
Aye, Captain.
Like a pirate.
Honestly, I prefer my rum ban.
I prefer Yar. Rum is good. I didn't think of that one.
Rum, yar.
It's
But
okay. I was almost not.
Since we have thematically appropriate bans, both teams get a +1 to all their champion stats. Totally, definitely happens. Don't question
Exactly. We have these ties with Riot. Yeah, definitely. Coffee slaves know other coffee slaves in other divisions of buildings of stuff.
Do you have a union?
We have a coffee slave union. What a wonderful
How's that
world
working out
where
for
slaves
you?
can have a union. I'm still playing this Bloons game. I really need to stop.
It's not a trick question, Soda. Just pick your champion.
Soda picking out Nami. Now this might be Soda's signature
Legendary.
AP Nami.
Legendary.
Signature legendary. Premier.
Super fantastic.
Bragged about.
Mega
AP
awesome.
Nami. A little overstated. Anyway,
Yeah, you may remember him from Worlds where he won and actually Samsung White and I don't even remember what the other team was. They used to be Royal. They're someone else.
Yeah, Royal.
Yeah, they used to
Are
be
they still Royal?
Yeah.
I don't know. They have Piglet or something. No, Uzi? I don't know.
I don't know. I just know they're Royal.
I think it's Uzi.
Yeah.
But
I think
yes,
it's SKT.
all those things have happened. Soda does do AP Nami. He played it about 3 weeks ago when he realized how powerful it really is when we had to run a
Oh, yeah.
Katarina support.
So SI appearing to not have learned their lesson, going to send their bronze Yorick up against. Well, I guess it's not Heavy anymore. I guess Heavy's on
Graves.
Heavy's on Graves, so never mind. I'm not paying attention.
Though
What's up, guys?
JP Daniel,
He's silver.
I stuttered a bit because there's a YouTuber called JP McDaniel. Yeah, so seeing that name, it made me think like, could that be him? Then I realized no, that can't be possible. That'd be
No.
stupid.
Maybe named after though, just JP Daniel.
Yeah, exactly. It's a nice homage.
Looks like you're
shout
going to
out-
be seeing Mike's Urgot mid again. Hopefully that works out a bit better than last time.
Oh,
Looks like SI is probably going to be running the same comp because I don't expect Midget to play anyone other than Fiddlesticks, and why should he? He's had solid performances throughout this arc.
very few ever fuck ups, but even then, those were immediately cleansed of. All of his screw ups have been cleansed by how amazing he's been able to make plays throughout the board.
I'm still happy about the Freljord weekend.
Fighting Ionia, who lost their karma.
No, I'm talking about when we fought him and he was carrying the game.
And then that one screw
And then-
up, which
yeah,
he is
no, he
famous
baited
for. It's that one screw up
baited
that
him.
always haunts him in factions,
He had
where
that
he
awkward
ulted,
dance.
he ulted thinking that it was a Baron fight that was going to happen, and then was immediately caught out using Zanya's thinking he was focused.
We're going to see Mordekaiser.
So,
Oh my God.
Midget on Mordekaiser, kind of a weird choice. I guess we're going to see Mordekaiser mid.
Though
I know
I
a
will
lot of
give-
people seem to think that Mordekaiser counters Fizz. Not really.
He can do it very
He
easily. though.
can do it, but he's
Yes.
not really a safe.
I will say though that Midget is such a good player on Fiddlesticks that some of that fame will carry on to Mordekaiser, so we will expect him not to do terrible.
They're both AP. They're clearly the same champion.
Wait, why does my E not drain them? How come I
Fiddlesticks
can't
is he
sign?
doesn't
Why
drain
am I on
people.
a champion with no crowd control whatsoever? Complete 180 from Fiddlesticks, actually.
Yeah.
But yes, we are looking at the Bilgewater team right now of Nami, who seems to be going support right now. Soda does not mind going Soda. Does not mind going Nami support. He does it very well.
You know, we can always hope maybe it's Grave support. He's going to max the smoke screen first, and then we're going to see Lichbane Nashor's Tooth Marksman Nami.
Hell yeah.
That would be a wonderful thing. I mean, people have pulled out random stuff. I, for myself, love pulling Misfortune mid on against the Shadow Owls.
Yes. And I think we all know about my AP Nunu top at this point.
Yes, Heavy always hates you for pulling out AP Nunu top.
Gonna play Jax, you're gonna get blasted. Being a coffee slave working out for you?
Fairly decent. I've gotten some time out in the sun recently. I forgot it was yellow.
I'm gonna have to fix that.
No, Russ Senpai. Why? But Russ Senpai, I got you your no-calf double-shot mocha latte with children tears.
I don't
that
drink
you wanted.
coffee.
Then blame Naga, he gave me the order.
Oh, Naga, you're in for a world of hurt. Anyways, expectations for this game.
Cheers.
How do we think lanes are going to go?
I am personally going to be looking towards the... The thing is, I know Demaster and his recent champion string in general, and Dr. Midget is new on Mordekaiser, at least in the factions scene. So I will be looking towards the Mordekaiser versus Fizz matchup myself. What about you, Rust?
Personally, I'm going to be keeping an eye on the bottom lane. I respect all four of those players in that lane. I know that they can all do a lot of work. Mostly, the Rakdosis versus Heavy Weapons guy matchup is going to be very interesting. Those are the two top-end players of this game, both of them very good on the champions they're using.
Mm-hmm. Rakdos, again, shout out from last game, the fewest deaths out of that entire bloodbath.
Oh, I shouldn't have looked at that.
Oh. Well then! Secrecy! Something we don't know.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait, who are you saying? I'm confused.
As questionable as he may be at times, he has carried a lot of games. Not someone you should count out.
No matter what their string is, I always do props people for champions they play, and Mike's Evelyn is something that of scary legend. Mm-hmm. Though, unfortunately, Evelyn broke her heel. And by heel, I mean her entire fucking body.
Same thing. That's all Evelyn is.
Her body is just tits.
New Evelyn skin, can't wait.
It's Evelyn wearing a suit.
Yay!
That still doesn't cover her chest.
Oh yeah, that's fun.
Why else would you buy an Evelyn skin? It's to get all your Mystique fanfics out of the way.
I thought it did cover her chest. It's just like skin tight.
It does. Yeah,
it's skin tight, but it still shows cleavage.
Woo!
And the game is loading in now.
It's like the best mix.
Skin Wars coming in right now. Koi, Nami, Riot, Graves, Zenastro, Nautilus versus Undertaker, Yorick, Headless Hackerman, Championship Thresh.
-1 for Undertaker Yorick. You didn't get Pentakill, guy.
I personally prefer Undertaker Yorick just because I don't like the hat.
And that's why you're not staff.
The little things in life, folks. You may not like kiss asses, but you better be a kiss ass because then you get all the stuff you want. I will give the skin torch over towards Shadow Isles with Headless Hackerman Championship Thresh just because of how illustrious those splash arts are.
And look how glowy they are.
I know, right?
Exactly.
Glowing is cool.
One's on fire, one's on blue fire. They're both facing the opposite directions because they don't want to look at Urgot.
Yeah,
don't forget.
No one's looking at Urgot.
No, they're actually... You think that they're not looking at Urgot? Those are actually Urgot's new arms. You got a prosthetics upgrade.
You know what would be wonderful is if Mordekaiser and Hecarim switched places, so this way they had the two champions facing towards the leftish, or the rightish, technically in this case. On the right, Mordekaiser who's facing middle would be in the middle, and then Undertaker, Yorick, and Headless Hackerman facing the left. Just be an actual direction comp.
I don't mean to. Well, I guess.
Yes, you do mean.
I was gonna make fun of your kindergarten education, but I guess if you go from their perspective, they are looking to the left. So I'll give you a pass on that one.
Mm-hmm.
But
their left or our left?
The way that it's focused, so it would be from their perspective.
Right?
So it'd be
their
left. Yeah, our left is their right, and all those things.
And Graves is.
There's some child in this stream right now wondering what the hell we're talking about. And if there is a child watching on this stream, where are your parents?
Graves is pointing his gun at Nami. That's not nice.
No, Graves' gun is pointing to the. Graves' gun is the tree.
I realize Jax, Nautilus, and Fizz all have like something in their hands or like poking each other.
Nautilus is poking his stick into Jax's stick.
Doesn't it look like
against Graves' bomb.
on Fizz's flash? Doesn't it look like the Nautilus's
shark
thing has a blade at the end?
Yeah, so I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yes, you see, Graves is pointing his gun at Nami because that is his supporting gun of awesome teamwork.
Yep.
Yeah, if I shoot you with it, instead of feeling pain, you feel nothing.
Because you die.
I like mine better that it's shooting out a tree branch.
I think it is the tree branch.
Turns out he never had a gun.
Yeah.
Graves, a master mindfucker. He always had a tree branch. He just assumed you were being hit by bullets.
For the next patch, 420, Graves is actually going to be shooting Maokai
I know, yeah, Nami's holding something as
from
well.
his gun.
God damn it! Weapon.
And Maokai may or may not be on fire. And Yorick is using the Runic Blessing Mastery, so I decided that he has to die first.
Yeah, as a little anecdote, I was recently giving a speech in my speech class, and there was a classmate of mine who was doing a speech on drugs. His time was 420. It was completely accidental, and everyone was flipping shit. Now, the game almost has started up, and there's the official startup of the game.
Who will leave the Falcon first?
Heavy Weapons Guy buying an item again as the first champion to buy an item of the game. So he gets the unofficial points of being fed.
One of those little things that actually can make the difference between being an average player and being a great player. Getting out of the fountain faster so you can get in position that much earlier. Better position early is the one that can invade.
Also, things that should be done is not screw up your little things at the bottom, because I had them organized, and then I kept just slipping them around, so it wasn't organized, and it took a bit. I am definitely a professional here.
I think we might be seeing Urgot bot lane for once.
We saw it last week.
Oh.
It did okay. Got completely destroyed because Shadow Isles... Actually, no, wait. I think that was the game that Shadow Isles actually won. That Urgot bot lane. But they won 2 games. They won 2 games, actually, last week. That was the second time that Shadow Isles have actually won a week. The time they've ever won a featured matchups was when I was still in Shadow Isles. And I carried with my Mordekaiser. Those times. I can't stop laughing at how I just won't even give them the satisfaction of good times. It was just times.
It wasn't good, but it sure happened.
It wasn't good, it wasn't bad, it was kind of there.
Poor Ionia. No one's gonna let them live that down.
Ionia can't read. How do you have a leader of an island nation who is illiterate?
And JP putting it out there. This arc is all about getting Ionia blown up.
This entire arc has been fuck you, Ionia. We've all said it. We've all know it's been there. And I'm the only one that's going to say it out loud. Every time Ionia wants something, we say no. But beside idle chitter-chatter, game is actually starting right now. Minions have reached their lanes, and CS has been undertaken. Just like Undertaker York taking 2 CS against that Jax.
I'm going to have to... That segue, that actually gave me cancer.
Wow. Jax jumping behind York right now, taking a bit of poke from the Jax.
York just ignoring him. A little strange.
York having pretty deep tank mastery, starting with the Runic Blessing, which I actually like the Runic Blessing.
It's the worst mastery in the game by far.
How? It's a 50 damage shield. Granted, it's better on junglers.
It's even worse on the jungle. It's a
How
50 damage shield that you get once when you spawn.
Exactly, and sometimes the first time the buff camp is the one to take most damage. Poncho's... Oh no, I was mistiming it. Still, most junglers take most of their damage from the first buff camp, and if you reduce that by 50, especially if you're going a pure tank. Oh, bot lane right now seeing some action. Poncho running over a ward, not caring about it, using his E and Ghost, decides to back up and just take the ward out.
Just as E. No Ghost was burned there.
Oh, okay. I thought I saw the Ghost Spectrals.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's probably,
Soda chasing down Poncho.
You probably saw the glowing on his pole arm. Looks like Ghost.
I was trying to pan over the Bilgewater, so yes, that was my bad. Nautilus coming in mid lane. Basic attacking Midget, not using his grip yet. Fizz flipping on top. Grip used on Dr. Midget. He flashes away. Is able to survive. Good use, or good
Good
skill!
pressure.
No, but good skill on Dr. Midget to not waste his flash until after the Nautilus hooked.
Light getting dangerously low in this bot lane. Graves and Nami both still around. No, they're at completely full health.
Demaster right now on York, very low on mana. He does have a
See some
first line
jungle
flask.
combat. Poncho needs to back out here. Fizz will react way before Mordekaiser can.
And that is first blood going against the Urgot. Heavy weapons guy picking it up for Bilgewater, just like he did last game.
Urgot just sticking around in bot lane way too long. You can't stay in a lane when you're at only 20% HP.
Especially against a team with such heavy jump dive. Now, Dr. Midget, he also, with no health potions left, trying to CS for as long as he can. Nautilus waiting in the wings.
Jackson and Yorick both out of mana in top lane. Yorick still has some health potions, so he won't have to go back yet.
Both of them do have teleports, so there won't be too much of a delay in terms of top lane fighting.
Jackson's already building up a 10 CS lead on Yorick.
Building higher and higher, starting with the Cloth Vest, in fact.
Interesting choice. Will mitigate a lot of the actual ghoul damage, but Yorick's spells are primarily magic damage.
The Ghoul's basic attacks themselves do a good bit of physical damage, but if you don't build any AD, the basic attacks are pretty much nothing to worry about, except for Jax using a Counter-Strike. One thing I did not note in the champion select is the veterancy of both sides right now. Insane Rogue and JP Daniel are some new faces we haven't seen in the factions so far, but then on Shadow Isles, all 5 of them have been very commonly seen players.
Very active members.
Thank you, Active.
Jax eating a tower shot for not very much damage on Yorick.
Jax
Not the
very
best
out of
choice.
mana, but York does he have any crystalline flash charges left? He does not, but he does have 1 health potion.
Jax 20 CS lead. I'm not really sure what Yorick is doing.
York is afraid for his life. He's not even trying to last it. He's just basic attacking and summoning ghouls.
Coming out bot lane,
No.
nothing comes of it.
Mid lane right now getting
a bit of harass, sealing it up.
Mid lane getting a bit of Nautilus pressure right now. Mordekaiser without flash, better be careful right now. He does have full shield. He did hit 6. As a level 6 Mordekaiser, Nautilus decides to back off as he sees Hecarim's top lane. Hecarim does use his Ghost this time. Ra dodges the Poncho. For how long? With Demaster at no health, or no mana right now, and standing right in front of minions. He's just ready for a Nautilus gank. And that is the jungler fighting each other right now in the top lane river bush.
Jax completely ignoring the fight. Now he's noticing it. Poncho in a lot of trouble here.
Demaster running in there with no mana.
Now
He will not be able
Demaster
to
is
stop
in trouble.
that. Counter-Strike. Oh,
Good flash from
York
Yorick.
flashing away. Indeed. Though maybe not worth it. He
No,
was around the bend. Yeah, he was around the bend, so Nautilus couldn't have used the hook, but at the same time, he might not have known that, so he was better safe than sorry.
Yeah, with the stun combo from Jax, Nautilus would have been able to make it. But Yorick shouldn't have been. Yorick should have been in position in the first place. Hecarim was getting out of that whether or not Yorick was there, and even if he wasn't getting out, there was nothing Yorick could have done about it.
Able to go back with a... Actually, he could have finished his Tear of the Goddess if he wanted to. He might not be going for Tear first.
He's doing what the Yorick last game did. He's gonna rush Shroud. Hopefully he picks up some health along the way. Poncho gonna go down the red buff.
Wow.
Whoopsie!
That is something you don't see often from a champion, or from a summoner who's used to champion for so long. Normally you can understand whenever damage thresholds they can take.
Fizz going down mid.
Ooh, and that is Dr. Midget proving that he is a good champion, or good summoner in general.
Midget using the patented walk up, alternate ignite someone strategy.
I do love that. When they're at such low health, you can E ult ignite and then walk away as they die.
Physios is actually fairly powerful if you can get it in the mid to late game because his passive gun, his W, will still be applied by the Ghost.
Even though Nautilus was taking out the Fizz Ghost, Mordecai was able to take a tower shot, which allowed Fizz Ghost to take 3 more CS for his master.
Worth.
Indeed. Coffee slaves know the exact kind of bond that a Mordekaiser ult Ghost and a Mordekaiser have.
Graves is starting to build up a CS lead in bottom. He's now 11 CS up on Urgot, and the poke supremacy is entirely on the side of Bilgewater. Yorick not even trying to fight back with the Jax. Jax now up almost 30 CS.
As a granted new but very accomplished York player, I do not like Crystalline Flash versus just starting with a Mana Crystal or even a Fairy Charm and 4 potions of each.
I like the Flash start on Yorick. I have probably around 40 games on him. I don't think that's the problem here. It's just Yorick
that's
is
just
not
my
fighting,
comment.
he's not farming.
It's just my comment. Plus, York is in Pure Tank, I would assume Pure Tank Masteries, maybe with some damage, maybe with some support or utility runes or masteries in there, but nonetheless, he will not be able to pull out the same kind of damage Jax will be able to do. Oh, and that is a good empowered basic attack onto York, pushing back even further.
What we failed to notice is Jax has picked up a Sheen, which is why he's doing so much damage right now.
A full back Sheen. First by Sheen. Mordekaiser warding down the bot lane river. Fizz using his flip, getting a good chunk of poke from the Mordekaiser.
Solid rewards from the Bilgewater side.
The first tower will be taken by and that will be Rakdos dying to Soda. And then Yorick being dove top lane.
Sticking around with no health, not something you can do, as we've already seen this game.
Now, some things to note here. Mid lane tower on the side of Shadow Isles, full health. Mid lane tower on the side of Bilgewater, 400 and dropping. Mordekaiser being caught out by Nautilus right now, and Nami. Red buff on the side of Nautilus will be able to slow Mordekaiser down just fast enough.
Mord does have ult. If he wants to turn around and fight this, he can probably kill the Nami.
He does not have Ignite, though, but it could be enough damage that with a few more procs, though, he's staying a little bit too far.
Mordekaiser's greed just overtaking.
He flashes. Oh, knock away
from
heavy.
The save? Not quite.
Maybe he can get credit for the Fizz. He will. A lot of flashes down right now. That was a good play on the side of Mordekaiser, but he should not have stayed and tried to get the kill without his Ignite. He could have just used his ultimate to get enough health to go back to lane.
Bilgewater capitalizing on Mordekaiser's greediness with some guts and just a whole lot of luck.
Yes, that Poncho was not able to CC the Braves far long enough to save him. But now that is Thresh picking up the kill on Soda. No red buff on the side of Hecarim, but
Hecarim already up again. That's funny.
Yeah, Hecarim is a fast pony. Fizz running away as fast as he can. Pink Ward has been spotted by Rakdos.
No mana or health. Yorick may take him down here.
He's used his E already. He's got a slowing ghoul out.
Yeah.
If he lands his
Yorick
Q,
getting greedy.
Yorick taking too many tower shots, but if Yorick decided to just go back in there, maybe a little bit more.
Yorick, he didn't micro his ghost there. If he'd brought the summon along, he might have had the damage to take Jack's tail.
One thing fancy to know with the Yorick combo I found out. Yorick gains passive basic attack damage based on how many summons he has out. His Q is all... Yes, well, I was just going to go along with the basic attack for what I was talking about here. If he summons out his W and his E before he Qs, the Q will be empowered by 10% since it is a basic attack. So it's something...
What a lot of people don't know is his ult summon actually counts for one of those too, so you can get up to 20% damage up on your basic attacks and 20% damage reduction if you have all your ghouls out.
Granted, that will be for a short time because they don't last for too long, but it is something to know about. It could get you 1 or 2 attacks. Now, that will be Jax's teleport being used for bot lane. A good fair amount of stuff being done bot lane, but York very hesitant of pushing the lane. He is just wasting time right now. Oh, there he goes for the tower. Another thing to note with York, if you use his W to damage the tower in terms of its actual basic attacks, it will keep attacking the tower for a fair bit of damage until the minions show up. And let's see if York does not utilize this tactic. That could be easily 100 damage from that what Ghoul could do.
It's kind of interesting. The Fizz maxed his Q first. It's questionable.
I could see it for just to break down the shield. You know it will hit.
Thing is, his Q doesn't actually do a lot of damage itself. It has a good ratio, but his base is pretty terrible.
Indeed it is.
And on top of that, its damage is mostly coming from your Sheen
Oh boy, top lane.
W.
Jax chasing down the York right now. Doesn't seem like... Nope.
Jax really is the hide-and-seek champion.
Indeed, now top lane being a very high point of fighting right now. Will the ultimate kill off the Jax? If he lands the... Oh, the Hecarim ultimate! That is a Jax ghost for the side
Goon
of
Squad
Shadow.
comes top and takes down Jax.
One thing I guess to note about that Fizz mid lane, he lost his lane, so I don't know if we should try to rationalize that. Mordekaiser using his Jax Ghost to take out the tower.
If SI wants to fight, they should be looking to do so now.
Jax Ghost is about to die. He's not microing it very effectively. He's actually letting it stand there. And that's Mordekaiser being taken out of the fight. York trying to do something, but walks right in front of Fizz and Graves. Flash not able to save him as he's taken out by Raw. Nautilus is one of Raw's staple champions.
SI just, none of them were on the same page there. Midget wanted to fight, everyone else seemed to want to go do their own thing. And then when Midget started fighting, he didn't even bring the Jax Ghost along, so I guess the Jax Ghost was dissenting too.
I mean, the Jax Ghost... Nice. The Jax Ghost may have landed far away, but it walked past a few of the champions, so it could have just easily turned it down and gotten a very good amount of base into itself. One thing to note, for those that do not know, Mordekaiser's Ghost will proc on hit effects such as Frozen Mallet, Darius Bleeds, or Jax's attack speed passive.
As well as his R.
Indeed his R. Only thing that it actually does not proc in regard to that is Jinx. She will always use her chain gun. She will never have the minigun out, even if she dies in minigun form.
Rocket launcher.
Thank you. I am professional. Anyway. Looking about everywhere right now. Mordekaiser finishing his Will of the Ancients. Lizard Elder being finished on Hecarim.
Goon Squad back in top lane.
That is Mordekaiser stun landing on the Mordekaiser.
This is the hook.
One of the very few times that happens. Flash coming out from Mordekaiser just to get the E without Rylai's. That isn't too much of an effective strategy, though he does have vision. Mordekaiser ultimate has fallen, though that is the York coming around the side. Doesn't
Ghoul York.
Slowing Ghoul yet. There's the slowing Ghoul right now. Stun coming out. Oh, and that is Mordekaiser taking the kill.
Attacking Arachnosis missed his hook again. Due to no fault of his own.
Exactly. He would have landed that. He actually knew it was going to hit and then threw it off track, so this way he didn't steal the kill.
Wuss.
And that is a stun bubble missing. Poncho getting some charge up speed. Tower unfortunately dies, but Fizz flips in place. Fizz ult landing onto Poncho. The horse stew will not be eaten by the fish.
Of course, it's only a Sheen and an Aether Wisp, and the spells aren't really doing much damage.
Oh, York running into the tidal wave, into a bubble, and that will be York falling flat for his team. Heavy seeming to always abuse Yorks. One thing to also note about this game, or for the games coming up this week, there's been a little bit of a revision in terms of what the 3-0 victories shall give. Before, if you went 3-0, you became the island's overseer, and you pretty much got to do anything you wanted to it, versus a 2-1 where you got a quest, and 1-2 would be a quest on the mainland, and then 0-3 is nothing. Oh, fight coming out right now.
Big fight coming out.
Heavy taken out.
Urgot ult.
Urgot able to almost got Soda, misses a Q there.
Nautilus is green, going to cost his
That is a
team.
double
Just
kill.
a very sloppy dive.
Oh, and that is going to be Raw taken out. Point blank Q being used, and that is death.
And there's the power of the, I guess rank 3 now? Yep, the rank 3 hacker, and he just nuking Nautilus out of existence.
Rank 3E. Back to what I was saying. The revision is now, if you go 3-0 during a featured match set, you will... Oh, DC. Don't know who that is. Anyway, you will be able to choose any island to explore. If you go 2 and 1, you get to choose an island in the quadrant to explore. And if you go 1, 2, it's still a quest on the mainland. And if you go 0, 3, you just cry yourself to sleep at night. Nope, the DC was for Urgot. Turns out he's lagging a bit, I guess.
Alright, let's take a moment to check out builds and not gold at this point. And maybe the scores too. Jax, in spite of his dominating performance, top 1-2-1. Goon Squad from Shadow Isles holding him down quite a bit. He's moving in on his Trinity Force. He's about, let's see,
2/3 finished in terms of just item-wise.
And he's about halfway to his seal. So that will be the finishing Trinity Force. Yorick building a Frozen Heart, sitting on 24 CS.
Dear God, that is pitiful. Game started back up.
And it looks like he's going for the legendary 20-minute tier of the Goddess.
20-minute tier. Or the legendary Raptor Rod of Age. Was it Raptor or someone built Rod of Age is like 36 minutes in? I think that was Crazed. That was, yeah. Okay, I just wanted to remember who it was. Anyway, just a quick overview of the rest of the builds here. We got Nautilus with his Ancient Golem, a Chain Vest, and full boots. Finally. We have Fizz with Lichbane, just normal boots, Infinity Edge, and Last Whisper on the side of Graves, and Mikhails, as people like to call it, on the side of Nami. And that will be Heavy, fighting the big one, actually, getting Mordekaiser ghosted, and that will be a stun just for him. Hecarim finishing up his...
Trying to roleplay as the new Dawn Graves, leading with his chin.
It's a good catch on the side of Shadow Isles. Now, Hecarim finishing his Lizard Elder and building up, it seems to be either Iceborne Gauntlet or Frozen Heart, you don't know.
We're going to say it's Iceborne Gauntlet, because I don't think they need a third Frozen Heart.
Yeah, probably.
See Thresh and Yorick both building towards that Frozen Heart.
Yep.
As I said last game, Frozen Heart, not that effective against Jax, because Jax does a sizable portion of magic damage. You need health if you're going to try to beat a Jax early. Or damage.
Mordekaiser finishing
doesn't
off.
cut it.
Finishing off all the Ancients along with Source Shoes and just building up something with the finished Codex. Urgot with a BF Sword, Brutalizer, Boots, and Ionians. I believe Mike's going to go back to his, what was that? Essence Reaver build for Urgot. If that item didn't have cooldown reduction, it wouldn't be as effective as it is on Urgot, though at the same time the mana regen isn't too much.
Yeah. Although, as I've
planning onto the Mordekaiser. Bubble missing, but ultimate coming up from Nami. Will keep the shield down. That is Heavy, securing the kill with his collateral damage.
Unnecessary ult, but it's very flashy.
Unnecessary ults are the most necessary.
Exactly.
And that is a bubble onto Mike, not Heavy, sorry. Soda taking a fair bit of damage, thankfully dodging the Urgot E for some reason. It looked like it should have hit. Thrush Flay hitting Soda, keeping him very low.
I don't know why I'm just noticing this, but I'm just realizing Shadow Isles very lacking in damage overall. They don't have any of their AoE that they're so famous for, apart from the Hecarim ult. Like, they have a bit from Mordekaiser.
Fiddle and Karthus are the
They're used to running Fiddlesticks and Karthus, like, usually both of them in tandem. That's been the main strength of their composition.
Fiddlestick and Karthus, of course, are the the second slash 2/3 of the actual comp. And Nautilus coming in with a flank, getting a point-blank ultimate off onto the Thresh along with the Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser being held in place for as long as possible. The Morel Nomicon keeping him alive as long as possible. Hecarim holding in a little too late, but able to finish off the Jackson, get the ghost from it. Poncho taking a fair bit of damage. Dr. Midget having a Mordekaiser ult on him, but unfortunately wasn't, or not Mordekaiser.
This is the part where Karthus finishes off their whole team, right?
Exactly. That is one thing I will say. Karthus ultimate would be very useful at certain points. Does a lot of.
I think honestly, I'd rather see a Karthus top than a Yorick top with this kind of composition from Shadow Isles.
Nope. Jax Ghost survived. Jax Ghost died.
Survives is a bit of a sketchy term when it comes to ghosts.
What do you get to say lives or dies? Okay, who comments?
Yours.
Oz coming out
and
again.
That's mean, Bilgewater. You shouldn't be saying Graves is heavy.
Sometimes I think this team just weighs me down.
Well, I don't know about you, but personally, I'm stuck over Mordekaiser, so I'm just hearing his W circling around him for eternity right now.
For me, I'm looking over at Fizz running away right now, listening to the quiet silence. Oh, looks like there was an AFK, not a disconnection.
And some foreshadowing.
This was not... they should have 5 minutes from about 21. Okay. That is true from Dr. Mitch. If you need 5 minutes, it's normally a lost player. Plagiarism. Even in word form. Anyway.
I'm not sure if Poncho meant to take that blue buff, but his red buff, Burn took it.
Shadow Owl's only 500 gold behind right now. Fluctuating, of course, as the jungle camps.
Yes, those two failed dives mid from Bilgewater really brought this game back to even. Not to mention, Bilgewater's build, not the best I've ever seen. Jax didn't finish his Cutlass, which is usually integral to his killing power. Fizz rushing Witchbane, which, I mean, we all know how bad that is. Graves, no attack speed. Until now, he finally picked up a Zeal.
I like the idea of Lichbane on Fizz, but it's at the same time, if you get fed enough to the point of DFG, you should build it. But if you're not fed to the point of getting DFG or even Zanya's, you finish up the Lichbane for some just kind of damage. Which in this case was his...
That's not it, though. You don't get damage from Lichbane. It's a damage Gimp as a first item. You need AP for Lichbane to actually be effective.
But you get it from the Q, which is enough time to poke down. But it's at the same time, he didn't have any money beside to get Lichbane.
Just picking up the Sheen and then building an AP item is much more effective on Fizz damage-wise.
I could see it like I could see it again if it was a matter of he had Sheen and then was able to buy himself a needlessly large rod next time back.
Even getting an Abyssal would have been very good against Mordekaiser.
Oh, that would have been true. Abyssal would have been nice, especially since it's being defeated this much. Bot lane being very pushed. Urgot and Mordekaiser waiting in the wings with Hecarim on the very far side.
Urgot farming with assertion.
Urgot demonstrating these are my creeps. That is Poncho on the side. He does notice that Nautilus. Nautilus does land the grip. And that is a Nautilus using his ultimate on the Hecarim. That might catch him out though. Oh, the Hecarim ultimate. Able to break the Nami bubble.
It's actually called the Onslaught of Shadows.
I said, oh, yeah. Gosh. Anyway, bot lane tower was taken. That was a giant distraction, and it worked out perfectly. Except for the fact that if it worked out perfectly, it would have gotten the heck. Looks like Bilgewater's headed to the dragon. And that will be dragon taken.
Starting to build up their gold lead again is widening out to 3,000 gold advantage for Bilgewater. Still anyone's game at this point. That damage on Nami. Nami's still level 9. Extremely brittle.
And Nami barely able to survive right now. And Hecarim does fall for it. And York is there along with him.
York deciding life isn't worth living without his favorite horse buddy.
Who would I be able to play cops and robbers with if I don't have a horse to get away on?
Yeah, that was almost strange phrasing.
I almost said cowboys and Indians, but that probably would have been racist.
Well, I will say I meant that too.
You know, we all know Indians were buffalo. I'm going to hell, I don't care.
But first you're getting me my mocha.
You say you don't drink coffee.
Yeah, that doesn't mean I don't want to make you do things for me.
Fair point. Fair point. And that is Baron being contested over now. Graves securing the Baron kill.
The short span of a minute, Bilgewater widening their gold lead from almost 0 to 5,000.
Well, not nil. It was 3,000, in all fairness.
Well, yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. They weren't even up by that much till they got the dragon.
Mm-hmm. That Hecarim and Yorick suicide does mean a lot. It wasn't even catch. They suicided.
That's a very good word for it.
They wanted fish, but it turns out sushi's toxic.
Looks like Mordekaiser will be finishing his Deathfire Grasp now. We'll be looking to see some picks onto the Graves. Mordekaiser has had very good focus onto him throughout this game. I don't expect that to stop. We'll see if Nautilus and Nami can properly peel for him this time.
Fizz finishing his Sorcerer's Shoes.
It's something.
He's not building... Actually, even AD would work on Fizz in terms of actual damage.
Yeah. Fizz really just not hitting a damage spike yet. He's going to need to finish either Azonia's or Deathcap here if he wants to really be effective.
Oh, and that is Paul. That is Paul being caught out again. For all those that thought I forgot, I never forget who I nicknamed. Paul disappointing me. Now Shadow Isle's trying to ult as much as they can. The tower is very low and Heavy's poking as much as he can. Soda tries to stun the tower. Don't know if he got the memo. No one can use spells except on the towers except Ramus.
Azir.
Right. Except
your trivia is outdated, son.
Damn it. Oh, here's some trivia. Shuriman champions are the only champions that can use spells on the tower, and that is an immediate death in terms of Dr. Midget. Not... Oh, wow, the Graves ultimate actually missing because of the slow dodge. Fidge eating the Thresh. He's going to take some tower damage. Oh, no, it's Nocturne taking tower. Nautilus. Nocturne. I'm in denial.
Well, I mean, it's a giant black blob in the Nautilus suit. I mean, you may have just stumbled onto something there.
Turns out this is what Nocturne looked like before he, lost his legs.
This actually explains why Nocturne's so conspicuously absent this week.
Uh-huh. Nocturne likes to cosplay as a deep-sea diver and just so happened to be so good at it that he was recruited by the League. It's so canon it works.
Just like how Mordecai is actually a giant potato in a suit.
So that's what potato gotta comes from. Or not. That is the middle inhibitor down, of course, for Shadow Isles. Right. Any chance of them having an easy comeback this game will not happen.
Urgot has just finished his Muramana, so his damage just took a significant spike. So they at least have that to look forward to in their next fight. See how if Bilgewater can keep up their momentum when the Baron buff ends.
Jax, a little cut out there, just in terms of not wanting to be there right now. Fighting the Mordekaiser. Probably could have taken him on pretty easily with a blade and his cutlass, or blade and his Triforce build.
No, I wouldn't count Mordekaiser out with a Deathfire.
That is true, but it would be consistent damage versus the burst, and I don't know if a burst or Mordekaiser can burst down Jax.
They're both
in one shot.
They're damage over time. They're both damage over time.
Well, it's the difference of Mordekaiser doesn't do damage with his auto attacks per se. Jax
but
does.
Mordekaiser has strong rotations. Like he gets the advantage of being able to kite Jax, which Jax can't do to Mordekaiser as easily.
Well, I don't think Mordekaiser can kite a Jax. Because
I don't think
Jax
remember Mordekaiser is significantly more fed than Jax at this point.
Here's the thing, though. He is significantly more fed, and that's the reason why Shadow Owl's been pushed down bot lane, and because he's come down bot, now top lane's going to be pushed. It's a never-ending cycle of why didn't you help us? Oh, speaking of why didn't you help us?
Bubble just instantly destroyed.
God. Heavy just dealing damage to everybody right now with even his basic attacks.
Finally, with some attack speed, Graves is finally chewing people up like he should.
This looks like it'll be another inhibitor taken for Bilgewater with Jax pushing top lane.
Probably the game at this point. Nami's taking both inhib towers and going down to her god.
And as you see, she just floundered down on the ground. Up, that's Urgot dying, result in being wasted. Hecarim trying to get out of there, ult at the wrong direction. And that is Paul just dying.
Oh, Mordekaiser forgot to use his Deathfire.
I think this is GG.
Oh, he probably could have killed him.
Let's get off the chat.
I got all 3 inhibs out. It's GG. Go, Super Brilliance!
Jax just jumping through.
Oh my god. Woo!
And that is his second game taken.
Off the Nexus.
Second game taken for Bilgewater right now, which ensures them having an island exploration day.
Yay!
No big surprise there.
Not really. Shadow Owls did put up a good fight last week, but granted that was against Ionia. Ionia didn't read the sign-up sheets properly.
Alright, so MVPs for both sides. For Shadow Owls, I'm going to give it to Big Mike. He did a good job finding opportunities to get his damage off in fights. He was positioning actually quite well, especially against the comp. Like, it's of crucial importance against the comp in the Fizz, because they can just dive right onto you. And for the Bilgewater side, I am going to give it to Nautilus, because he was the reason that they got so far ahead. He helped Fizz out in mid, helped him deal with the matchup that wasn't going very well for him. He got Jax the early kills, and he got his bot lane snowballing, and during the mid game he was making pick after pick, which kept help Bilgewater in the lead.
It's hard to argue against that for the side of Bilgewater because no one really performed a stellar game. Granted, Nautilus only died once, and that death was because of a very deep tower dive, which did give Shadow Owls some of their only opportunities to come back fully into this game. But when you compare it to everyone else, Soda did a good job supporting, but you really can't give someone a trophy for being a good support because that's what they're supposed to do. Heavy, of course, got really fed.
Mostly at the end.
Mostly at the end, but nothing ever came out of it was, oh my god, he just 3v1'd them. And Fizz got the shit kicked out of him and got fed late game, and Jax was Jax.
That's one way to put it.
I put it bluntly. But, again, Nautilus does give the best candidate for MVP because he was the giant tank wall that they needed. And I will give my MVP to Dr. Midget, actually, doing a good job in mid lane, holding down the Fizz, and actually doing the best out of the 3 lanes. Even in the jungle portion, he was doing better in the matchups. So, those are my MVP votes.
Sorry, I'm back.
Heavy, welcome back. Congratulations on the win.
Hi there.
I'm gonna end the stream now.
Shut up.